NewsView, a look at some of the news of note with Michael Badger from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois.
Hello and welcome to NewsView with me, Michael Badger from Urbana, Illinois. Now the news. According to Bloomberg.com, Citibank says that card customers' names and IDs have been breached. Citigroup Inc. is the third biggest U.S. lender and said that data for about 210,000 credit card accounts in North America were breached. A routine monitoring of online account information revealed that the intrusion had breached all these people's IDs and card information, said Sean Kelvigan, who is a spokesperson for the New York-based company Citibank, and that's what he said in an emailed statement. The unauthorized viewing of the account information only affected customers in North America, he said. Among the data accessed were customers' names, account numbers, contact information, and according to Citigroup, social security numbers and dates of birth were not accessed. And they say they're contacting customers whose information was impacted, according to Kelvigan. And in other news, the weather across the country has been very hot for the East and Midwest so far this month. According to AccuWeather.com, Alex Sonorski's blog, who is expert senior meteorologist at AccuWeather, says that the heat that has been building in the Mid-South in recent weeks was driving temperatures to record levels at midweek. Intense June sunshine combined with building humidity and hot air will push AccuWeather's real field temperatures to between 100 and 110 degrees during the midday and afternoon hours. He also says, quote, caution is always advised during hot sunny days. However, extreme caution is urged due to the intensity of the heat, humidity, and June sunshine. And he also says heat is more lethal than cold waves, heat waves. Only 1.6% of people in a cold wave are killed, but in heat waves, that number goes up to 5.7% on average. While the heat is nasty enough throughout the region, large cities were getting the worst of it as usual, he says. And you can read more about that at AccuWeather.com/blogs. And our next story, there's a monster wildfire in Arizona, according to the Christian Science Monitor and other sources. The wildfire in Arizona has had an effect on a whole area half the size of Rhode Island, blackening it and prompting evacuation of some 2,000 people in its path and threatening long-distance power lines that serve New Mexico and Texas. And this is a serious fire. It's doing lots of damage. It's caused many flights to be redirected in New Mexico airports. and the wildfire in Arizona and seems to be spreading into parts of New Mexico and Texas and possibly Oklahoma. We hope the fire will be put out. Many firefighters are out there on the lines battling this fire, but it's tough when you have a wildfire out west or anywhere else, especially in these conditions. And the next story comes from the McLeaver Institute in Wisconsin, and it's a story about protesters dressed up as zombies protesting the Wisconsin governor's appearance at a Special Olympics ceremony. Here's the video.
Wednesday was going to be a special day for some Special Olympics athletes. They got to come to Madison and meet Bucky Badger. Plus, the governor would personally congratulate them on their hard work and determination. But there was also another group in Madison on Wednesday showing their determination.
So please join me in welcoming Governor Scott Walker.
As Governor Walker was speaking, a line of protesters dressed as zombies walked between him and the Special Olympians he was addressing, blocking their view.
The Special Olympics is about the cheer and the joy and the passion the Attorney General was just talking about of our Special Olympians. That's what the focus should be on. That's exactly what we're talking about here today.
The zombies showed little remorse.
You guys think it's appropriate to protest the governor at a Special Olympics event?
Yeah, that's why we didn't come in walking like zombies. We don't want to offend the Special.
But you're walking in front of the cameras and in front of everybody and turning their back.
There were also other protesters there with their signs.
You think that's fine kind of language here in front of kids?
My daddy used to talk to me like that.
As the governor attempted to talk to the Olympians and draw attention to their accomplishments, these protesters were determined to bring attention to themselves. For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.
And in other news, according to Fox 19 in Ohio, I guess that's in Ohio, or Ohio near Kentucky, or Wilmington, Kentucky, or Ohio, I don't know, but they say a restaurant referenced by President Obama to have survived due to President Obama's Chrysler bailout is going out of business. And this is in Toledo, Ohio, according to the Associated Press. This Ohio restaurant was mentioned just last week by President Obama as an indirect beneficiary of the government's Chrysler bailout. But instead of staying in business, this restaurant is going out of business. After more than a 70-year history, this Sunday, the restaurant, co-owned by Richard Lawrence of New Chef's Restaurant in Toledo, says the business has fallen victim to the economy and the workplace smoking ban, which was approved by Ohio voters in 2006. He told the Blaine newspaper of Toledo on Wednesday that the auto industry cutbacks also hurt. Lawrence says he used to deliver up to $300 in food per week to the Chrysler Group LLC's Jeep plant in Toledo, but now it's down to only about $100 worth of food going there. Obama visited the plant Friday and told the workers that without them, who would eat at Chef's or patronize other local businesses. Well, that business is now going out of business. And we'll continue with more news right here on NewsView after this break. So stay tuned. Welcome back to NewsView. I'm Michael Badger. Our next story in the news is that Wichita, Kansas experienced a rare phenomenon the other night. This is what's known as a heat burst. In fact, this happened at 12:22 a.m. when the temperature at the Mid-Continent Airport was 85 degrees, but then at 12:44 the temperature spiked all the way up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. This was a 17-degree increase in only 20 minutes, this according to KSN.com, Channel 3, the winds also gusted between 50 and 60 miles per hour in Wichita at the time. The heat burst winds and temperatures rapidly dissipated, but they spread across Sedgwick and southern Butler counties. The wind gust up to 40 miles per hour battered the Wichita metro area, but that was due to outflow winds from severe weather south of Wichita, and not related to the heat burst. You can read more about that on ksn.com /news. And our next story is the University of Illinois wants $100 million for scholarships. According to the Associated Press, Dateline Champaign, Illinois, the University of Illinois hopes to raise $100 million through private donations for scholarships over the next 3 years to help make up for the increasing tuition and shortfalls in state support for students who need help paying for college. President Michael Hogan and his wife Virginia will start the campaign with a $100,000 donation, said university spokesman Jan Dennis on Wednesday. A news conference to announce the scholarship is planned for Thursday. Well, that was yesterday when you're watching this on TV. And he says, quote, "There is no higher priority to me than making sure that rising costs don't deny students the life-changing opportunities that a University of Illinois education provides," unquote, said Hogan in a statement. He also says that, quote, "College is a cornerstone of the American dream, and we are committed to preserving it for our students," unquote. And in other news, according to CBS San Francisco, sitting can be just as dangerous as smoking. Sitting long hours behind a desk, according to Dr. Coven, who is a cardiologist, He says several new studies show prolonged sitting is now being linked to an increased risk of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and cancer, and even early death. He also says that when you sit for long periods of time, your body goes into storage mode, and that when that happens, it stops working effectively as it should. And he says what's worse, the more hours a day you sit, quote, the greater you have the likelihood of developing one or more of these diseases, just like with smoking. And you can read more of that at sanfrancisco.cbslocal.com. And one more story here before we go to another break in weather. According to Breitbart.com, camel killing is being promoted as a way to save the environment in Australia. They're considering awarding carbon credits for killing feral camels as a way to tackle climate change. The suggestion is included in Canberra's Carbon Farming Initiative, a consultation paper by the Department of Climate Change and Energy Efficiency, seen Thursday, quote unquote. You can read more about that and on the internet at Breitbart.com, and I think there's probably a link to that at the Drudge Report as well. And thank you for watching NewsView tonight. The weather is after this break. Thank you. Hello and welcome to your NewsView weather forecast for Friday night through Sunday night on June weekend, June 10th, 11th, and 12th, 2011. Friday night, thunderstorms with a low temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit with a 30% possibility of precipitation. Saturday night, a low temperature will be 59 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy skies. And for your Sunday, sunny skies with a high of 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and Sunday night, a low of 59 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. I'm Michael Badger with your NewsView weather forecast. Stay tuned for more on the next slide.